Spencer, you talked this morning about Tom and all your guys, but Tom specifically
Yeah.
needing to stay within the lines. He lays that hit on Carrier, just kind of keeps it moving. It seems like a game-changing hit from your perspective, for your team. Just what did you see there from your
Yeah,
perspective?
completely changed the momentum in the game, and that's a prime example of one of the elements that he brings to the game, and he does so many different things, and everybody in here knows how impactful he is, how unique he is, and you saw firsthand how significant he can play a role in a team coming back and winning a hockey game the most important time of the year.
Spencer, after the games in Washington, you said that you didn't play typical third periods compared to what you had in the regular season. Tonight was more of a typical period.
Yeah.
Was there something said or done in second intermission to make sure that you would come back the way that you did tonight?
Yeah, we had a really good conversation. I thought we were out of sorts after that second period because of the special teams and how it went, and us having the 5-on-3, and those are stressful situations in a game, and temperatures rise. So if you don't score on the 5-on-3, it's hectic. We call timeout. You know, you can feel the temperature in the building. They kill it off, and then next thing you know, they get a power play and they score immediately. And so I just felt it at the end of the second period. Our group was extremely deflated, and you could feel that, not feeling sorry for ourselves, but just, we missed our opportunity on the 5-on-3. It should have been 2-0, and now we're down 2-1. And we just had, I know our group, and I know the character in our room, and we have been in some difficult circumstances through this year, and the heart of our group has consistently shown through in these moments. And sometimes they need to be reminded of who they are and how we can play through that, and we're going to find a way to win a game. And we're just going to focus on playing. We're not going to worry about what happened on the 5-on-3. We're not going to worry what happened on the penalty kill. We're going to play the third period like we know we're capable of playing, and that's exactly. And you could feel it on the bench. I knew right away the first couple shifts, our guys were completely dialed in, and I had a strong feeling and felt like we were going to at least tie that game in the third period because of the way and the mindset that our group had in the third.
In the midst of all the special team stuff in the second, and really throughout the game, you guys were really strong at defending 5-on-5. Now, a big part of that was I thought you held on to pucks more in the O-zone tonight, but what went into limiting them so significantly at 5-on-5 tonight?
Honestly, I thought our game, remove all the power plays and penalty kills. I loved our game. I loved our start. I loved our first. I loved our second. I thought we were... the details inside of our game were good. We weren't generating a bunch, but that was what the game, that was the way it played out. It was just sort of territorial. We got the better of it. We had a few more shots. We had a little bit more territory, but it was one of those games. I'm talking just 5-on-5, not special teams where we were doing a lot of good things. But then you go into at the end of the second period, and you feel like, that's where I felt like our group needed to be reminded we're fine. We are playing well tonight. Our start was great. We were managing the building, the road game, everything. And so I was glad we were able to play through that because 5-on-5, I thought we did, to your point, a lot of good things defensively, held on to the pucks, controlled territory, kept things to the perimeter, limited the Suzuki line, all the boxes that we needed to check from a 5-on-5 standpoint, we were doing.
Spencer, you mentioned at the start of the third period that you could tell in the first few shifts that you had it. A couple of those shifts are on the penalty kill.
Yeah.
And they were zipping the puck around. They scored 2 power play goals before that. What changed on that PK? What was the difference?
So I could hear our guys so now it's like, okay, here we go again. But it wasn't. It was, we're going to kill this and we're going to get to work. We're going to kill this. It wasn't worried about what had gone on, and so that gave. Anytime our guys, I can feel it on the bench of the belief and the talk and them supporting one another. And obviously you got to get through it. They got a lot of good players. Like they could have scored there for sure. I mean, they're a talented power play, but getting through that and then building the momentum off of that, I thought our guys did an excellent job, and we needed our penalty kill to step up. We needed, they had scored 2, so we needed something to give us a little bit of momentum, and I thought that was one of the things that got us going in the third period to give us some of that momentum.
Coach, the last game you said that, you weren't 100% satisfied with the way that the team played, and now tonight you talked about managing the building. For the first half of the game, you kept them pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Was that first game enough to give you guys that experience to come into today and be able to be the team that you recognize?
Hard question to answer, but I can tell you from talking to our guys over the last 48 hours, anytime you experience something, and even though some guys have played in Stanley Cup finals, some guys have played in playoff rounds, whether it was with us last year or in different organizations, still going through that last game is an experience to get used to and comfortable with. And whoa, this is next level. Crowd noise, energy in the building. So, like I said yesterday, getting comfortable and experiencing that and then knowing what to expect, absolutely, I think it plays a role for our guys. And I felt like tonight we were much more comfortable in the environment, knowing what to expect in Game 4 and knowing what the crowd noise was going to feel like, what the anthems were going to feel like. And I felt like our start was dialed like that. Everything that comes with this building and the difficulties of it, I felt like we managed it so much better tonight than we did in Game 3.
So you obviously managed that. You managed emotions, deflation, of all those things you referenced, hard character of your group. But that feeling that you had, that confidence, how much of it comes from the experience of the guys that are driving your team?
For sure. And if you follow our team, like we've done that. I want to say, you don't quote me on this, but I want to say we have the most third period comebacks in the National Hockey League this year. So we've been through it. I think I'm right on that, but we've been in that. We've been in these scenarios where we've needed to dig in a third period to find a way. And sometimes, again, it doesn't always work out, but sometimes our group needs to just be reminded of who we are, what we've battled through, and the capability that we have, even though shit hits the fan. And that's what happened in the second period. Like, it was a mess. We don't score on the 5-on-3. We got things going everywhere. The building is erupting. Like, that's just, you're going to deal with that. If you're going to win a playoff series, you're going to have to overcome adversity. And that was a prime example tonight of us being able to do that.
Spencer, on that resiliency point, how did you see that show up individually for Brandon Duhaime tonight after a little bit of a difficult Game 3 for him?
I thought Dewey, he looked huge night for him. Huge night. Felt like he was a little bit off early on and a little bit tentative and wasn't moving his feet, wasn't skating like he normally does on a couple instances that I remember, and talked to him on the bench, like, let's go. And then the third period that he has to pick the fellas up and make 2 huge plays. The penalty kill, he played a huge part in that early kill in the third period. So he was instrumental in the third.
Just talked to you this morning about whether you should chase a matchup or not. You talk about keeping Suzuki's line in check. To what extent was that your ability, or just how the game turned out, to get Strome away from that matchup, and how much was it just all the special teams play that had to happen to kind of help you in that?
I honestly, I liked how it played out a lot. I thought we were able to get Stromer away from Suzuki quite a bit, Dubois, and that's the hard thing of chasing matchups. And, a couple times we're able to, where I see Caulfield, so one guy comes on from that line, stoppage, then I can just go Dubois. And then Caulfield has to go off the ice, or he's got to choose to go with Suzuki and Slavkovsky. Caulfield goes off. So now these are moments in the cat and mouse of 2 coaches trying to figure out what you want to do. Do you want to play into that and play Suzuki against Dubois, or are you going to let Suzuki sit another couple rotations? And then, I have to figure out a way around that. And I thought, for the most part, because we did get into some situations that weren't ideal for us, but I thought our guys managed it well. Lars's Eller's line played against Suzuki a couple rotations. Stromer's line had and that's what we needed. We're not going to get exclusive matchups with Dubois and Suzuki, but if we can, when you recognize you're out against that line, do a job and give us 2 shifts in 60 minutes against them from Eller's line. Dowd's line has about 10 against them. It'll be able to get us through that. And I thought our guys did an excellent job of understanding when they're out against that line, there's a job to be done, and you got to manage those minutes and do a good job with it.
Tom, your hit on Carey kind of seemed to be a game-changing moment for you guys. Just what went into that sequence, and how did you feel the momentum shift after that?
Yeah, it's been a physical series both ways. Getting hit, giving hits, they've been really physical. So it's a long series, and you just try and kind of invest and continue to play hard every shift you're out there. And it was a big hit, and boys were able to score right after. So that's kind of the way that hockey goes.
Logan, can you just talk us through your life from the last game to
you don't know if you want to know about my life.
Yeah,
but,
not your whole life, but the last 48 hours or so.
Yeah, I mean, that was, I kind of,
Too much.
I kind of got my bell rung a bit there. Scary. I think it could have been a lot worse, but, coming back from an injury, I had to do some protocol. I kind of lost my balance getting up, but luckily, things were okay, and I'm able to play. But, thankful that it wasn't worse, because, it definitely, I think, looked a lot worse than it was. It was just, Stromer was back checking. I didn't read the play well, and I got caught with my head down, and unfortunately Stromer didn't see me there. And, it's a crappy play to be a part of, and it wasn't intentional, and just thankful that I'm able to play today.
Tom, this morning you had mentioned, like, sometimes I just got to shut up and play. I think those were your words, right? After that hit, did Anderson come up to you, and did you just skate away, or was there anything that happened right after that hit that you skated away from?
Yeah, honestly, I was pretty tired, so I just wanted to get to the bench. But yeah, I mean, it's a loud building. There's a lot of emotion. I think last game was really chaotic, and speaking with the coaches and a lot of people that I trust over the last couple of days, I just, it's good for me to be on the ice. I can't be sitting in the box for 14 minutes. And, in the first game, we take a coincidental or whatever, and I'm in the box for 8 minutes, 9 minutes. So I just want to be on the ice and control my emotion. And it's a tough building to do that. It's one of the best buildings in the NHL for a reason. It's loud. The fans are passionate. It's one of those buildings that you love playing in as a player. It's stuff that you'll remember when your career is done, but you want to keep your emotion in check.
LT, would you see tonight in front of you in the way that your teammates limited their chances and their zone time at 5-on-5?
Yeah, I mean, credit to the guys. I think we came out hard. Kind of like Tom said, this is a very hard building to play in, and they got a great team and a great fan base, and you can hear it and you can feel it. So credit to the guys. We kind of took away a lot of the energy in this building, and we're able to get back to our game. But I think we just stuck to our systems and what worked, and it's been working all year. And yeah, credit to the guys. We bounced back game, but this is definitely not an easy rink to be in.
Logan, sorry to make you talk about the guy sitting next to you, but just how important is Tom to what you guys do, and how, I guess, big was that hit and everything today?
Well, I don't even make his head any bigger, but no, he's been huge for us. He's the heart and soul of this organization, right? When he's making plays, big hits, we feed off that. Especially in our home rink, I think the whole building feeds off it. So he's a huge part of this team, and we love him.
That's it?
Tom, resiliency has been a theme for you guys all year. 25 comeback wins in the regular season, led the league. What is it about this group and these types of moments? Third period, down a goal, penalty kill very early. Why is this group able to get through that?
I think the thing that we depend on is we're a really tight group. There's an accountability when you're that tight with each other and you pull together. There's accountability when you're down in tough moments that you just want to pull for the guy next to you and you want to go out there and get it done. And it's just a really cool thing when it can be any guy. I mean, Manj has a great game tonight and scores a massive goal. it's a group that's had different guys step up throughout the whole year. I don't think there's any panic when we're down a goal. We believe in ourselves, and the message was kind of clear. We didn't want to change our game. We played a really solid, 2 periods at 5-on-5. And if we came out and played that way in the third, we were going to give ourselves a chance to tie the game and to win the game. So I think we did exactly that. We stuck to the game plan and got it done, and just shows how tight a group we are. And my friend here, and it's really fun to come to the rink. So it's a fun group.